It's 3 o'clock and these are your afternoon sports headlines. 2 Preston North End players have died in a crash on the M6. A member of the coaching staff is also confirmed to be dead. We'll have the very latest.
We chat to Liverpool's Tony Bellew after his sensational knockout win over David Hay.
And we find out why AFC Fylde fans got on their bikes over the weekend. Hello and welcome to Northwest Sports with me, Sam Jordan.
And me, Toby Wilding. We start with the breaking news that a coach carrying 30 members of staff from Preston North End has been involved in a road traffic accident on the M6 this morning. Joining us now is our Preston North End correspondent, Aidan Hussein. So Aidan, what can you tell us about the accident?
Well, like you mentioned, a coach carrying 30 Preston North End players and staff, it was in a collision on the M6 this morning at around 11:20 as they headed down to Derby. I can confirm to you that 3 people have died, 2 players and 1 coach, and their families have been informed.
And at this moment in time, do we know the identity of those who have been killed and seriously injured?
Yes, 19-year-old striker Jason Duffy, goalkeeper Stephen Burns and coach Edward Smith were involved. The driver of the car that the coach collided with was also killed, and thankfully no passengers were in the car at that time. 20 casualties, including manager Simon Grayson, and 5 of those casualties have suffered life-changing injuries. 10 more are being treated at Royal Preston Hospital, and they are in serious but stable condition.
So what does all this mean for the club going forward?
Well, the fans have already started to gather around Deepdale, and there's no confirmation yet that the match against Derby will be postponed this weekend, but I will be able to bring you further updates later on.
What can we expect in terms of a reaction from the fans to what we've seen here?
Well, you know, the club are very close-knit. The fans have a deep love for Preston, and of course, as soon as the news broke, the fans were straight down to Deepdale to pay their respects to those that have passed away in such a tragic event. And you know, I think I can speak for everyone here at Northwest Sports that we pass on our deepest condolences to the families of those that have been involved in the accident.
Yeah, absolutely. Our condolences with everyone there. Thank you, Aidan. We will bring you any further updates on this story as soon as we get it.
Liverpool boxer Tony Bellew says he may retire despite his stunning knockout win over David Hay. Bellew upset the odds to beat the former world heavyweight champion. I caught up with him earlier to discuss his future.
What I will say is, mate, right, the way I feel right now, then, you know, that could have been the last time on Saturday night. So, you know, I've got to think about my family, my missus, and what it's doing to them, not just me. So I just can't keep doing this to my body, mate. I'm in a lot of pain today. My whole body is in a lot of pain. My right hand smashed to bits like a purple pillow. My whole body feels like I've been hit by a JCB truck, mate. It really does, but it wasn't a JCB truck, it was David Hay, mate.
What is your relationship like with him now?
Mate, in all honesty, we don't have a relationship. Win was very, very satisfying. The things that he said in the build-up were way below the belt. He went way beyond the Call of Duty. It was wrong. It was disgusting what he said. You know, it had my missus upset a week before the fight. It had my children worried, and you know, some of the comments were way too far. But you know, he paid for it, mate, on Saturday night.
How does it feel to have silenced the doubters, but more so to have got a victory over a bitter rival?
What I would like to say is that, you know, had he have got the victory that he predicted, that he was going to smash me in 1 or 2 rounds and hurt me, I'll be honest, mate, he wouldn't have been compassionate to me in the slightest. He would have ridiculed me. He would have wrote me off and ridiculed me, and people need to remember that.
Tony, thank you very much. Really appreciate you giving us a bit of your time today, and good luck for whatever you decide to do in the future.
Thank you very much, mate. I'm sure we'll have an announcement. I don't know, mate, when I'm ready. Thanks very much.
And that's a great result for Tony Bellew there. Now, Manchester City made it 4 Premier League wins in a row yesterday, beating relegation-threatened Sunderland 2-0. The result leaves City just 8 points behind leaders Chelsea, who play West Ham in tonight's live game. Sergio Aguero opened the scoring for City with his 5th goal in 3 games, despite rumours about his future at the Etihad. Another man in form is winger Leroy Sané, who netted the 2nd in the win at the Stadium of Light. Pep Guardiola's side can leapfrog rivals Tottenham with a win at home to Stoke City. That game is on Wednesday.
Elsewhere, Manchester United could only draw 1-1 with relegation-threatened Bournemouth. Liverpool leapfrogged Arsenal with an impressive 3-1 win on Saturday. However, their Merseyside rivals Everton suffered a 3-2 defeat away to Tottenham, bringing their 9-game unbeaten run to an end. That result for City moves them up to 3rd in the table, whilst Liverpool's win sees them move back into the top 4. Manchester United missed the chance to close the gap on their rivals, remaining in 6th place. Everton stay in 7th, whilst Burnley remain in 12th.
In the Championship, Tony Mowbray will be hoping to extend his unbeaten start as Blackburn manager tomorrow night as his side host Cardiff City at Ewood Park. Mowbray saw his side earn a 2nd win in a row on Saturday. Marvin Emner's strike the only difference as Rovers won 1-0 against local rivals Wigan Athletic. That result takes them out of the relegation zone. And that win lifts them up to 20th. Wigan, however, are firmly in the bottom 3 with just 11 games remaining at the top.
Fleetwood Town have gone under the radar in League One this season, and with a winner promotion rival Scunthorpe at the weekend, the supporters are now revelling in the thought of their 7th promotion in just 13 seasons. Chris George has more.
Uwe Rosler's Fleetwood Town surprised a number of teams this season, none more so than former manager Graham Alexander's Scunthorpe. It was Bobby Grant's second half goal that secured the win.
Fleetwood Town, or you want to have Millwall, Bradford, Charlton. Of course, we are regarded as an upcoming progressive, but a smaller club, and obviously nobody really expects us up there where we are, and I think that's a great motivation, and they're using that as a tool to give another 2 or 3% out of us.
It's now 18 games unbeaten in the league for Fleetwood, and if their form continues in this manner, teams such as Sunderland, Hull and Middlesbrough could be taking a trip to Highbury next season. Not even their standing captain and Northern Irish international can remember being part of such a fabulous run.
Yeah, this is the best. I mean, when we qualified for Northern Ireland, we were on I think it was 10 game, so this has surpassed that. It's probably be the same for everyone in the changing room, so we don't want to give that up easily.
There's still 11 games left to be played for the Cod Army if they are to rise into the 2nd tier of English football and extend their impressive run until the end of the season. Despite going up against the big boys in League One, Fleetwood have more than matched them. With Bolton coming up this weekend, they can prove this season they're the real deal.
And that result moves Fleetwood above Scunthorpe into the automatic promotion places in League One. Bolton's draw leaves them in 4th, 4 points off Fleetwood, while Rochdale drop down to 11th. And in the bottom half, Bury and Oldham are hovering above the drop zone after their defeats. Oldham now just 3 points clear of Swindon.
Fleetwood are really flying at the top end of the league.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season. No one really would have seen that coming, would they?
Moving on, scores of amateur football matches had to be called off at the weekend because of a refereeing strike. Our reporter Jack Clark is live at the Lancashire FA for us. So Jack, just remind us why the strike took place.
So the match officials went on strike because of a growing amount of physical and verbal abuse. However, organiser Ryan Hampson says that many FAs still aren't budging. I'm joined now by the Lancashire FA's referee development officer, Sam Yates. So Sam, I mean, what do you make of the strike? Because impressively, Lancashire, no matches were affected in Lancashire, were they?
That's correct. There was no games affected here due to the referee strike. Now, we do offer as much support as we possibly can to our match officials across the board, and we all know that abuse to referees is not acceptable in any way, shape or form. So it's quite a positive step for Lancashire that not many games were, or not one game was affected. I think it's testament to the work that we do here and the teams and volunteers out in Lancashire.
Absolutely. Well, how do you help a referee cope with something like abuse?
So when we get a report in, it's usually on a Monday morning, our discipline department will come through and give us the reports. We'll then make contact with the referee within 24 hours, within a couple of hours if possible, just to really talk them through it, make sure they're okay, if they need any guidance in terms of reporting elsewhere to the police if needed. And then we have what's called a referee liaison officer, and he will ring up and help them write the reports to make sure that each offender gets exactly what should get, so to say.
And what now? What's the next step in this battle against abuse?
I think the continued education is the main thing. So our referees are being better educated. The courses, they're becoming much stronger referees straight off the referees course. We also have here in Lancashire now a new mentor scheme. So in the first 3 months of their referee career, they'll get mentored 4 times just to make sure that they get the right steps when they're going into the game. And yeah, they're going fairly well.
Brilliant. Thanks, Sam. Back to the studio.
Thank you very much. In rugby league now, Warrington coach Tony Smith is under pressure after his side lost again on Saturday. 2 tries from Junior Sal helped Salford to a 24-14 win, leaving the Wolves without a point this season. Well, next up, Warrington host Super League leaders Wigan Warriors. They could be without as many as 3 key players for that game after Joe Burgess, Lewis Tierney and Ryan Sutton all picked up injuries in Friday night's 20-0 victory over local rivals Leigh Centurions. 2 tries from Anthony Gelling and another from George Williams, giving them a comfortable win as grand final champions. Leigh Miners head coach Jason Seddon wants a response from his players when they travel to Fatto Heath this Saturday. The Miners lost 54-12 at home to Kells at the weekend, and Seddon wants his squad to take responsibility.
An extremely tough game. And one that they'll be looking forward to, no doubt, off the back of this result today, and we're going to have to really bear up, work hard Tuesday, Thursday, and make sure that we turn up next Saturday.
And finally, a group of AFC Fylde supporters travelled to this weekend's game at Harrogate to do more than just cheering on their team.
Members of the Lancashire charity Aim and Higher cycled overnight to raise more than £2,000 for disabled children in Blackpool. Our reporter, Chris Coughlin, has the latest.
It's not just AFC Fylde's players that are aiming higher this season. A group of the club's supporters went the extra mile to raise money for charity, 100 extra miles in fact. 11 of the club's fans cycled all the way to Harrogate to raise money for the Blackpool-based charity Aiming Higher that helps over 750 disabled children and their families a year. This isn't the first time the supporters have done their part for charity, however, after a successful cycling venture last season.
Last year I was responsible for setting up a bike ride to Stockport. So when Craig had the idea that this year we'd do a 2-day ride going to Harrogate, I couldn't really say no, as I'd got them all involved last year, and I'm only too happy to help. It's a fantastic cause.
The Fylde squad showed their support for the cyclists at the starting line, and the club's star striker Danny Rowe was full of praise for those cycling to Yorkshire.
No, yeah, it's good, obviously. All fans getting together, doing it for charity and stuff, it's a long way, but no, it's all good and a bit of fun as well.
Even the club's manager Dave Challoner was there to deliver a pep talk to the travelling fans.
Yeah, and just keep pedalling.
Keep pedalling.
Just keep pedalling. Yeah.
What about stopping?
I wouldn't stop.
Overrated?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Overrated.
Overrated stopping. Yeah. The more times you stop, the more times you got to get going again.
On the pitch, AFC Fylde were in the driving seat ahead of the weekend, 10 points clear at the top of the National League North. A Simon Ainge-Hatchett, however, looks set to condemn Fylde to defeat before Matty Hughes scored late on to secure a dramatic 3-3 draw and extend Fylde's advantage over second-place Salford to 11 points. As the season enters its final stretch, Fylde appear to be riding into the distance. Chris Coughlin, North West Sports, Kirkham.
Now, we told you earlier about the serious road traffic accident involving the Preston North End team coach, and we are joined once again by our Preston North End reporter Aidan Hussein to give us a further update on the story. So Aidan, what more can you tell us?
Well, in the time that I spoke to you, I managed to speak to the club, and they have told me that the game against Derby County is postponed, and we also think that the game against Reading next weekend will be postponed as well, but of course it's too early to say. The club have also said that a vigil will take place at 6 p.m. tonight.
Aidan, thank you. We will keep you updated.
And that's all we've got time for here today. Thank you very much.
That was 15 seconds short of one.